one person that will always have your heart. You never see it coming 'cause you're blinded from the start. Know that you're that one for me. It's clear for everyone to see. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta rock the way to this one. Come on.
See, I don't know about y'all, but I know about us. And
it's the only way we know how to rock.
I don't know about y'all, but I know about us. And
it's the only way we know how to rock. Do you remember, girl? I was the one who gave you your first kiss. 'Cause I remember, girl, I was the one who said, put your lips like this. Even before all the fame and people screaming your name. Girl, I was there, and you were my baby. It started when we were younger, you were mine. My boo. Now another brother's taking over, but it's still in your eyes. My boo. Even though we used to argue, it's alright. It's alright, girl.
This is titled My Boo, and it's music by, Asha Raymond's featuring Alicia Keys on this one. And a very special person is celebrating his birthday today. And we here at Love 99.5, we are indeed excited about the fact that the Lord has blessed him with another year on his life. So happy birthday to you, Mr. Sharif Al-Hassan Ampema Seydou, CEO of Zest Consult. May the Lord make him great, or make you greater and greater in all things. It's from Ampofo of our sales department, our sales head, Giddy. And all of us here at Love 99.5, especially the Love in the Morning crew, Leo Stanley, myself, Eugene Say Tutu, and all, we say happy birthday to you. All right, so my guests are already seated for this morning's conversation, and as you're very much aware, healthcare professionals in Ghana keep living in such of better working conditions. So they're living to work in the United States of America, they're living to work in the United Kingdom. Now, in 2022 alone, it's believed that about 1,200 skilled workers or skilled nurses left, and many more are leaving. On a daily basis, they are leaving. Now, somebody told me, for example, that if you call a nurse this morning on a normal call and the phone doesn't ring, and you call the person on WhatsApp and it goes through, it tells you that the person has left Ghana to go see greener pastures elsewhere. Well, doctors are also, unfortunately leaving. And of course, which means that we have only a few health professionals staying behind to work. The pressure by way of the workload will be very high on them. Let me just share some statistics with you, because, for example, in 2021, we are told that the doctor-to-patient ratio is this. So, for example, in Greater Accra, it's one doctor to 2,586 patients. In the Upper East region, it is that bad. It's one doctor to 17,000 patients. And in the Western region, it is one doctor to some 12,359, patients. So, listening to all this, the fact that on a daily basis, health professionals are leaving, how concerned, should we be? How concerned are you? How do we fix it? Do you have any idea, any suggestions how you think we can fix this problem? And if you have felt the impact already, maybe you went to the health facility and you had to spend longer hours there, or when you met with the doctor or the nurse, you spent fewer minutes because there was a lot of patients in the queue, they had to go attend to them and all that. If you have begun to feel the impact, share your experience with us. Our WhatsApp number is 055-1111-995. Pick up your phone and then record something, telling us, first of all, whether you are, concerned about their departure. Secondly, you tell us, how you think we can fix it. And then if you have had any experience as to how they're leaving and its impact on healthcare delivery, if you have any personal experience, share that with us. We're also on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. Join us there with your thoughts. Now, with us in the studios of Love 99.5 for this conversation is Philemon Edu Brimpong. He's the first vice chairman, Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Ashanti Region. Philemon, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
We also have Senior Anna Amu, she is the Deputy Director of Nursing Services at PRAMSO, and she's also right here. Madam, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I trust you're well?
Yes, I'm doing well.
And Ohimi Ntewia, our very own Ohimi Ntewia, who's an assistant news editor with the Multimedia Group, is also with us in the studios of Love 99.5. Ohimi, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Now, let me at this point in time ask that we share this report with you, because Ohimi Ntewia went on the ground. He visited some health facilities, especially the original hospital at Agogo. And he was able to put together something that we all ought to listen into and be concerned about what the situation is really on the ground. So if you don't mind, Leo Stanley, please share that report with us.
Experienced nurses are living in drones with the expectation of better working conditions, flexible work schedules, and better pay in the foreign countries. The exodus of nurses is depleting critical units of some health facilities in the Ashanti region, where 304 nurses have left for abroad in the first quarter of 2023 alone. Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Emmanuel Kojo-Tinkran, laments the situation.
Now it's close to about 10 a day, because as at the first quarter, we've lost over 304 nurses who has requested for leave without pay for various reasons. Meanwhile, most of the reasons is that they want to travel outside the country. Those who are going are, let me say, the best that we have, because these are the people that we've trained for years. They've acquired the knowledge, the skills, and then the right attitude to manage cases.
Most of the nurses are now vacating their posts under the guise of going on leave. The situation has left some facilities with few staff to man critical units such as maternity, mental health, surgical wards, and theaters. One of such facilities is the Kumasi South Hospital, where the exodus of critical health professionals is a daily phenomenon. Dr. Nana Kwesi Blankson is the acting medical director.
On daily basis, we have nurses leaving our facilities. You meet certain nurses, and by the next day, you can't find them, and you are told that, they've migrated to seek greener pastures. So it's basically just like a rapture. What we know is that most of them will apply for leave without pay.
10 out of 18 personnel at the surgical ward have left their posts this year alone. Acting nurse manager Victoria Safua Osei is overwhelmed.
It makes the work difficult. We had wanted to have another unit, but because we don't have enough staff, we can't do that. You overload yourself, and then at the long run, you will see that you won't be productive.
Are there instances where you'll be there and you will see complaint that we are short of team members, as let's say Unit A?
Oh yes,
B,
yes.
Because of the exodus of
yes. The male surgical ward like this, we're having about 20 nurses there. Currently, we have only 8 nurses. So look at the gap. It's not easy.
There are concerns quality care could be compromised as the few available hands are overburdened. Dr. Blankson explains.
The health of our patients is our concern. So we try as much as possible to adapt. Nurses and other cadre of staff have to take on additional roles, responsibilities, and duties to make up for the loss. But then if you do that for long, it will obviously have a toll on you.
The Ghana Health Service appears to be helpless in finding an antidote to the brain drain. Deputy Director General Dr. Anthony Ofosu Adolfo says there's little the service can do to stop staff who are motivated by money to travel abroad.
What is pulling them, and that is the pounds and dollars, which we cannot match. So the pull factor is huge. Yes, and so if countries have gaps, and they have more money than us, they will attract more than we can attract, like the UK, US now. After the COVID, they have huge gaps in nurse availability. So they want to fill it. So once they are offering more, our people will move. If we give a thought to it, something can be done.
If we give a thought to it, something can be done. So what are we waiting for? When will we give that thought to it and do that something that ought to be done? Because if you listen carefully, we're told that in the first quarter alone, that is in 3 months, 304 have left. That is in a space of 90 days. So averagely, let's say three people leave averagely people leave. 3 of them leave every day. 3, nurses leave every day, and you ask yourself, how would this impact healthcare delivery in Ghana if it has not started already? And that is why we are seated here to have this conversation. A beautiful report there, but very scary. And one word that I picked up from what the doctor said, Dr. Blankson said, Nana Kwesi Blankson said, is that it's like a rapture. And that today you go to work, there are nurses who are on duty. The next day you come, the nurse will not be on duty. And if you find out why, the person is out of the country. Is it that bad?
David, it's very, very bad, because the figures you mentioned are those who applied for the leave of absence from the Regional Health Directorate. There are others who decide not to apply. So they travel abroad, and whilst there, then the application will be sent in through friends and family members and relatives. So now that's the tactics. Many of them have decided not to apply whilst in Ghana. They travel abroad and then do apply. In some of these facilities, the situation is very bad in such a way that, to the extent, there's not only nurses who are leaving, but other health professionals, those who have the know-how to man some of these equipments. For instance, you want to go to the lab, now they are targeting the labs as well. The radiographers are also leaving. So imagine being a medical superintendent or a medical director. Yesterday, you met your radiographer at post, and the next morning, people have queued. They say the person is not available. You find out that the person has traveled. It's very, very disturbing. And in these all situations, the people I pity most is the administrators, those who are at the helm of affairs, those who are manning the wards, the nurse managers, the medical directors, the medical superintendents, because you cannot go to war when you have your best, leaving you, or you have the best people that you trust so much to be supporting you at the war front. They are the ones you turn up to. You look back and they are nowhere to be found. That is the situation they find themselves at this moment. And so, David, is very dire. And for the patients, they really, really don't know what is happening.
We'll talk about the patients in a
bit.
But from what you have told us, it is therefore possible that if the radiographers are leaving, there will be occasions or situations where the machines are there, but we don't have the qualified people to man them.
Now, that is the real situation on the ground. You have the machines all right, you have the infrastructure all right, but you don't have the personnel, the hands to work with. Like I talk about, an instance in one of the hospitals is very close to us. The medical superintendent was crying on top of his voice. It's very frustrating because he thought that he has acquired the equipment, logistics all right, but then you don't have those who are skilled enough to man them.
So
what do you do?
How are they coping? How are they coping under the circumstances? And for example, yesterday I called Dr. Nana Kwesi Blankson. He is a bit under the weather with some flu. I wish him well. But how is he coping? He is the acting medical chief for Kumasi South. How is he coping under the circumstances?
So what they have done is to share the work to be, done by, let's say, if you have 8 people or 10 staff who are supposed to work and 2 are available, then you do sort of additional work. You sort of engage the people to do more. And so the fear is that they are also human beings. They are not machines. Even machines do break down. So if you overwork them, if you overload them and they overwork, there's likelihood that they will break down
or make mistakes.
And even if they don't break down, definitely they are going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And when those mistakes comes, who do you blame? And this is at the time that the patients are becoming more discerning, more concerning. Now there's also other legal issues against services being provided by healthcare professionals. So you end up spending more because when you are hit with lawsuits, you go to court and you have no explanation but to pay these huge slabs of suits that will come out from the court. So that is the possibility of how and where they find themselves in. But it's difficult for them. The situation is that they don't want to overburden the staff that they have, but the situation also demands that they have to overburden them. So they are sort of in a dilemma as to what to do.
And in the report you mentioned that out of 20, it's left with only 8 out of 20 nurses.
At the female surgical ward.
It's with only 8. And this is the Ashanti Regional Hospital we're talking about. This is our regional hospital. And we've been talking about the fact that it's even in a poor state, we need to have the one at Sewa opened so that people can go in there and work in a modern environment. And yet out of 20, the surgical ward, out of 20 nurses, is left with only 8. And even that 8, God alone knows whether they are prepared to stay or are planning to leave.
David, it's not only the Kumasi South Hospital. I mentioned that 8 out of 10 nurses I spoke to where either they have started the process to travel abroad or they are about beginning the process. So it's like everybody wants to leave.
Yeah. So what about the professionals themselves, the few ones that are left? And I'm sure that they are overburdened, overwhelmed with the spirit of work. What are their concerns? What are some of the things that you're saying?
The thing they are saying is very simple. It's bread and butter issues. They want government to improve the economy. Once the economy is good, who wants to risk traveling abroad to lose the family bonds and then the relationships that we have at our workplace, even at our homes? But once the economy is not good, yes, they are working at the moment, but when the opportunity also presents itself, definitely they will also travel, because nobody wants to be left out. When my colleagues who have traveled abroad tells me, for instance, in a month I can make, say, 71,000 Ghana cedis. And if I take out, my rent and transportation, I can save up to 50,000. Who else want to stay in Ghana and earn 3,400 Ghana cedis?
Or even less.
Or less.
Yeah.
So they are motivated to travel.
For you to tell us about, the patients and what their conversation has been with you. But Philemon, Edu Brimpong, like I said, is a vice chairman for the GRNMA. That's for the Ashanti region. Philemon, good morning.
Good morning, David.
So Ohiming is telling us that either they are in the process of leaving or have left. Are you going to leave?
Personally?
You? Yes, you. Do you have plans to leave?
I'm still contemplating.
You're contemplating to leave?
Yes.
So you have not decided yet?
No.
What is making you stay?
It's an array of a lot of reasons. But still the conditions here are not all that conducive. Looking at the condition of service that we are working in, and also when it comes to even equipment that we are working with. Your colleagues leave and they have everything that they need to work with in terms of digital instruments. But here we are still using manual styles. Diagnostic materials, they are all manual mostly. So beds that we are using, somebody is adjusting bed to lift the patient, but here you have to bend, you don't have even adjustable beds. So a whole lot of conditions, even when it comes to the work, that makes it easier to care for a patient out there. It's far better than here. So if I even take the personal conditions, the condition of service that we have, and even you look at the work as we are providing care, it's difficult with what we are presented with. Some places are not even having the basic logistics. Some facilities are lacking gloves, basic, some places masks. And these are very, very important in caring for patients. And if you are not getting it here and you say, oh, I'm struggling to do this, and I'm also getting a peanut from this, then let me move.
So basically, it's not necessarily about the money, but it's about the logistics and the equipment that you need to work with.
It's
that is not also there.
It's multifactorial. A lot of things come in.
How does that make you feel? Knowing that you get up in the morning, you take your shower, you dress up, you're going to work, and you're going to work under such conditions. How's the feeling like for you?
It's bad. There's one thing that people have not come to notice, especially at times when you go to the hospital. Some people complain about nurses' attitude.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that trigger that. You want to care for a patient. The things that you need are not available. You want to provide a basic care to a patient. Something that is very, very simple but life-saving. And it's not there.
Like what?
At times, oxygen is not available.
And what's the explanation given as to why we don't have oxygen?
Shortage. At times, oxygen is short. At the facility, you can't get it. At times, a nurse, this big cylinder, a female nurse goes to work, the oxygen there runs empty. No one there to help the nurse carry this oxygen cylinder. It's very frustrating. It affects nurses, our emotions.
Are you married?
No, not yet.
Not yet. You dread to get married. Why are you not married?
This is personal.
But if I look at you, you're at a ripe age. Is it because of the salary you think it's not enough for you to get married with and to hire a place, rent a place and stuff like that? Is that the reason?
Oh, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
What are some of the stories you hear from friends who have traveled out? What are they telling you?
Very good stories. They always ask, what are you doing in Ghana? Always, every week, I get someone telling me that, Charlie, you have to leave. You have to leave. One, they are completing their houses. Those who never had lands, they are buying lands. Somebody say, oh, Charlie, I have heard that there's a land somewhere. Go and see if I can get an acre.
Negotiate for me to go and buy.
4+. Oh.
How does that make you feel? Hearing this from them, you still being back at home working in the same conditions, how does that make you feel?
At times, it makes me wonder, why am I still here? And should I move now or I should wait? Maybe condition can be better.
Senior Anna, Sister Anna, sorry.
Yes.
How long have you been a nurse for?
I've been a nurse for 23 years now.
For 23 years?
Yes. I'm a nurse midwife.
As a nurse midwife.
Yeah.
How do you feel having worked for 23 years? What's the feeling like within yourself? Satisfied?
Actually, I'm satisfied. I don't know, probably it's my background as a reverend sister. I feel satisfied helping my people to survive when they are sick.
But how do you feel knowing that these young ones are leaving? They are not Roman fathers, they are not sisters, but they're leaving. How does that make you feel?
It's worrisome, because looking at the caliber of staff that we have and they are living, to sustain the system is difficult. Because when you talk of mentorship, these people are trained, they have the experience, the skills, and then they need to train the young ones, yet they are the ones living. So when we are sick, who will take care of us? It's really much concern.
You're a nurse manager, aren't you?
I am.
So as a nurse manager who has nurses under her, that you're supervising, how is it like for you yourself managing the facility at Pramso?
It's becoming difficult of late, considering the shortage of staff. Because looking at from January this year up till now, about 18 staff have left, which is really a concern.
How many did you have and 18 have left?
For the midwife and the nurses, we are 278. And considering just first quarter, second quarter, 18 has left, and they are still going. Each day they will come to the office, bring their
clearance.
The clearance certificates.
Yes.
But there was an embargo on the clearance certificate, wasn't there? And I'm told that it was lifted a month or two back.
That is it. So you can't say that you won't sign anything for them. They have their rights. You need to sign for them. So they bring it each day, but you have no choice but to sign for them. And then they ask for clearance, and then you also write a letter to introduce them for that. So it's really a concern. If they keep on going like this, then a time will come that we will have nobody to work for our people here in Ghana when we fall sick.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Florence Nightingale sees nursing as a tuache juma. It's not necessarily about what you get out of it, how much you are paid and all that. So looking at that and the attitude of some of the nurses right now, what do you make of it?
To be sincere, those times took care of itself as it is. But looking at the system that we have now, you also need to survive. At least your parents or guidance have spent on you to acquire this knowledge. At least to help others and also to get something from it, to take care of yourself. So they are all equally important. Once you are working, offering these services to others, you also need something to cater for you yourself. So if you are doing all these things and nothing is coming out of it, then how do you
So looking at this exodus that is happening, where people are living in large numbers, how is it impacting patients who come to the hospital? What are the dangers involved?
To be sincere, once people are living and there's shortage, and you know they will definitely be burnt out, and you see the effect of that when somebody is tired and the person is working, a lot of mistakes can be done.
Yeah. And this is health we're talking about.
Yes.
There's no room for error.
That is it. And then we are talking of patient safety.
Yeah.
The person is tired. So even to make decisions sometimes can be altered. The judgment of the person making decisions, it cannot be good.
On a normal day, how busy would you say nurses are? How many hours do they work in that 24 hours? Because I've heard some doctors say, well, I've been on duty for 2 days, I've been on duty for 3 days. So on a normal day, how is the schedule like for nurses? How long hours do they work for and all that?
To be sincere, in a normal day, it's 6 hours per shift during the day. But for the night, it's 12 hours. Because from 8, let's say from 8 to 2 p.m., 8 in the morning to 2 p.m., you are done with the morning shift. And then it starts from 2 to 8, you are done with the afternoon shift. Then it continues from 8 p.m. to the next morning, 8 p.m. So that makes it 12 hours at night.
And now, with the numbers at which they are leaving, has the number of hours changed?
Well, talking about Pramso as I am there, we are still running these shifts. But considering the other people that they are living so much, where they are really feeling the shortage, I believe things have changed for them. Yeah, but that's what Pramso we are managing for now.
But
we are feeling it gradually.
When you say feeling it, what do you mean by you're feeling it gradually?
Like you go to work, as you said, somebody will come and say, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going. They've been bringing letters, ask for study leave without pay. So those things are happening. And you keep on changing redistribution of staff because you also need to work on the equity. You need to be fair with every staff and other wards. So you make sure where there's a bit of shortage, quickly you pick somebody from somewhere and then place the person there. So you are always changing the roster, redistribution of the staff.
Philemon, my next question will be for you, but before then, Sister Anna, tell me this. When they come to you, do you sometimes try to convince them not to go? Have you ever tried that?
To be sincere, it's difficult. If you tell them, say, Sister Bagana is now
do you try to tell them? Do you tell them not to?
I do, some of them. I do. Looking at my background, I try to, at least for the sake and for the love of our people, let's say, but their mind is not there.
But you've done this job for 23 years, yes, according to you.
Yes.
They are saying that, like, Philemon said a while ago, friends of his, PS, they send money, listen, check out a plot of land for me, I want to buy 4 plots, I want to start building, I want to do this, I earn so much and all that. You've been in this job for 23 years. They don't want to look at you and say, okay, sister doesn't have 2 houses to her name, sister doesn't have a fleet of cars to her name, we want to have that to our names.
As for that one, they don't care about that. They will say, you are religious. You don't own anything for yourself. So they are not convinced.
Doesn't that bother you? The fact that you don't have anything for yourself?
No. That is my life.
It doesn't bother you?
No, not at all. That's my life. We don't own anything for ourselves. We have everything as a group. So I'm not worried about it at all.
Philemon, what do you think it would take for nurses? You are a nurse. You can speak for doctors and co. But as a nurse, what do you think it would take for you guys not to go? What will it take? What ought to be done?
Our salary needs to improve, and we are not asking for much whenever we meet government. We want an accommodation. In early 2000, when nurses started leaving, the then President Kufuor brought the car waiver. Every nurse needs a means of transport, and it was taken off by the Israel government, and we have been negotiating for them to bring it back. Introduce a car waiver. If you are not introducing it, Ministry of Health should purchase these cars, give us to buy on a loan, high purchase. Then build for nurses. Let us occupy it. We
build for nurses.
Build for us, mortgage. It will make the conditions better. Now, average nurse, or let me say a nurse, what is the cost of rent in Kumasi now? If you are married, having kids, you need a 2-bedroom apartment, like 1,000 Ghana a month.
In terms of the price of the rent, that's what you're talking about.
Yes, price of a rent, 1,000 Ghana a month. How can you take care of your family? You have to eat.
That's why you're not married.
Fees and the rest.
That's why you're not married.
You can't see that. But this is very, very difficult. We are not asking for much. Those in the rural areas, they have been posted there, looking at the conditions that they are working in. We have been telling government, do something for them. Recently, they have been able to bring some promotional reductions to help them. But they need some monetary aspect as well. Some people are well overstretched. When you come to Kumasi, where we have more nurses clustering here, but when you go to the district, some people don't close. So they stay at the health facility. They work 24/7. I know a guy who works like doesn't break in Drobonso. He is there in the morning, he stays there throughout the month. Then you have to see the director there, the district director. I have to go and see my family. And he has to travel from Drobonso to a table to see the family maybe for a week. Then he returns to the facility, stays there throughout. These are some of the conditions. If this guy leaves that place, that means the whole community or the sub-district will be deprived of health care. Some people
you
are
make
really
it sound as if you're not respected. Let me take that one back. Not appreciated.
It's not like we are not being appreciated, but what we want to say that health is very, very essential. Government should pay particular attention to health care, and nurses are the pivot of health care in this country. Everything revolves around the nurse, from as you enter the hospital before you leave. And we can talk about entering this world and leaving this world as well. So a special emphasis should be given to nurses and midwives in the country. Everything revolves around us. And when you come to the hospital, whenever there is a mistake, let me say a mistake in quote, committed by any member of the health team, it's the nurse who is supposed to pick it up, or he or she is the person to correct that error. So we need good psychological care. We need good sound mind. We need to be well catered for, so that when I'm taking care of the patient, there are not other things that are distracting me, that are affecting my judgment. Because if the nurse commits a mistake, who is there to correct the nurse? Because we are giving the medications, we are taking care of the patient 24/7. If you commit a mistake, then the patient is likely to die. Then the nurse, when working, should have a sound mind. So I should be working and thinking about, hey, this evening, how am I going to feed my family? Tomorrow morning, school fees is there for me, light bill is there for me, and all those things. Tariffs are increasing. There is something that needs to be done. Even steady leave has become an issue. Some people work for more than 10 years, some 8 years, and the rest. Specialty program is there. We need sponsorship. Government should absorb the cost. And nurses want to train to become a specialist in a field to care for Ghanaians. Though it will come with other incentives, but the nurse has to dish over 10,000 a year to pay for the fees for 3 years. Meanwhile, our specialist doctors, they are not paying for that.
You want the one to be free for you guys to also study?
Yes, because you are actually working on patients when you are being trained as a specialist. You go to work and work on patients. So you're actually working. It's not like you are going to sit in the classroom and be taught 24/7.
Do you have free medicals? When you're sick, is it for free or you pay for it?
That is very, very unfortunate. It's not like that. And I always commend Confanoche. They have instituted a package for their staff. Like it was 3,000 and now I heard it's 4,000. That whenever you are sick, you go and you seek health care. When you come to other facilities, like CHAG, for instance, some will take care of you. Some will ask you even to pay and come for a refund. But in some jurisdictions, it's not like that. You have to pay. You will be taken care of as non-nurse. And that is the most frustrating aspect of it. If somebody is a trader or a driver and he goes to the station, driver, they reserve front for the driver. Special treatment. And the driver doesn't pay in addition. Somebody selling food by the roadside will definitely eat the food and be satisfied. But it's not like that for nurses and midwives in the country. You pay for health care. Even in our condition of service, we negotiated with government. Cost or care that is outside the health insurance, government should take 50%. Then the nurse takes 50%. That we are not even seeing. So when our current president of the Ghana Research Nurse and Midwife Association, Madam Perpetua, came into office, then she has been giving health support to members. And we have given from 5,000 even to 100,000 to nurses to care for them. And it becomes very painful. In line of duty, you get accident, especially with community health nurses. Nothing is done. We even go to their aid. So our situation is bad.
I know that there are different, kinds of types of nurses. The psychiatric nurses, the midwives, and all that. How much do you think is ideal in terms of paying? If you say they should pay you better and all that, how much are you looking at?
This is a difficult question for me to answer because it depends on the person's need as well. Maybe I need a 3-bedroom, other person needs 4-bedroom. Maybe I want Toyota Corolla, but someone maybe wants a Land Cruiser or maybe 4Runner.
We're talking about general. Nurses are complaining, nurses are leaving, we're not being paid well.
If you look at
the logistics to work with and all that.
The current economic situation, I think if we are paying every nurse maybe 5,000 Ghana cedis averagely, it will be very cool.
An average of 5,000 Ghana cedis
for a nurse, it will be very cool. Looking at the risk that
how much are you paid now, roughly?
Roughly, if you look at the base of nurses, the chunk of nurses, averagely maybe 1,000. Look at the base pay, 1,005. I'm talking about the base pay, because then the market premium will come in. But the basic pay for the chunk of nurses, let me say 1,005.
If the market premium comes in, how much is it roughly?
The market premium used to be 57%. Now, 2013, when government white paper plays embargo in it, now it's around 34%.
So you've had the nurses. What do you also have to say? I mean, are you already feeling the pinch? Have you been to any health facility? What's your experience with them? You can call us now on 0322083596. All right, let's hear from you. 0322083597, 0322083598. He says that it's not just about the money. Yes, they want to be paid well. 5,000 Ghana cedis per month will not be bad. But you go to the facilities as nurses, and they don't have gloves to even work with. He talks about the fact that oxygen is not available to treat patients with. You've heard them this morning. And yet they are leaving. And their friends, their colleagues who are leaving, what is happening is that they are getting about 7,500 out there a month. Plus or minus, they rent, they buy groceries and do all manner of things. They have about 5,000 left. And we're talking about 5,000 Ghana cedis left, all right, equivalent. Because they pay there in dollars. When you do the conversion, in Ghana cedis, they have about 5,000 Ghana cedis left. Oh, you're shaking your head. Why?
Yeah, David, with those that I spoke to, they save at least 50,000 Ghana cedis, because up there they are paid on weekly basis. And the other incentives are also there, because you have accommodation and the rest. So it's even more than 5,000. And it's interesting to hear that his friends are buying lands, plots of lands,
ready to build. They're not buying one, no. They're buying 4. They're buying
but
4.
Those that I spoke to are not buying lands. They are buying already built houses.
Christoph is on the line, so it's
yes,
that's
a reality.
Let's go to the phone lines. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David. I hope you are fine, sir.
I am well by grace. Thanks for asking.
Dave, this is a wonderful discussion, and I think I'm sad this very morning. But when I read the document last week, I was saddened. David, do you know that a washing bay attendant in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, is taking more than a graduate teacher in Ghana? There is a health, sector we are talking about. People will fall sick. They go there and there are no nurses. You are in a country where, David, politicians will take the chunk of the resources, and then will now be giving us, leftovers and all that. David, do you know that in the heat of COVID-19, frontliners, the doctors and the nurses, what they were promised till date, they were not giving. But the money came from World Bank, the money came from the IMF, even the domestic fund that we even launched here. And companies were putting money into the accounts of COVID-19 and all that. They were not paid up to now.
Well, Chris, thanks very much for joining us. We've got Ken on the line. Hi, Ken. Welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David. David, I don't see why this should be a problem or a challenge. You see, there are so many unemployed nurses out there. So if there is an opportunity for someone to leave, I think there's no problem.
But Ken, did you listen to the conversation? The problem is the skilled ones, the ones who have been trained, well trained, they've made mistakes, corrected it, well trained. They are the ones who are leaving. So when you said they should go and now we should replace them, when you are replacing them, you're replacing them with people who come and do mistakes again, correct the mistakes again. For how long will we allow this to fester?
Oh, but David, if that opportunity is not given to them, then I think we should always go for the best or those who are well experienced. You see, if teachers have this kind of chances, I'm telling you, the number of teachers that will leave, I will be the first person. That we don't have the chance.
I hear you. Well, I know of teachers who are also leaving. Let's now speak to Sledge. Hi, Sledge. Good morning.
Good morning, David.
Welcome, Sledge. Let's hear you.
Thank you. David, at first, here's a market we are having. So don't imagine here. Because, David, a nurse will be working for 10, 15 years. Will not be able to buy a plot of land. Within 4 years, a politician will build a mansion. Yes, not one. What is he going to do? Obako. So if I can save 50,000 within a month, why should I stay in Ghana here when whatever I receive is just for hand to mouth? David, the government doesn't care about this because the government believes that there are backlog of nurses who are home, who are not even getting posted. That is why the experienced nurses are going, and since government doesn't care about it, David, may I encourage them? Maybe there's uncle.
I hear you, and that was Celeste there. Let's speak to George. Good morning, sir.
Hello, David. Good morning.
Good morning, George.
David, I am very sad this morning. You see, all this go to the leadership. As one of the callers said, the monies that came are not given to the nurses. David, our politicians will hold all these monies, and when they are sick, they use this money to travel abroad and go to the best hospitals. David, when a new president comes, the CEO of Confanochi will be changed. You see, everything is about politics. So, David, let them go. Let them go. So that they will also go and have, good living.
As they go, we are behind, we are suffering, no. Kofi is our final caller. Kofi, good morning. Do we have Kofi on? Hi, Kofi, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir, good morning.
This is Nana Kofi.
Nana, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm well.
You see what? People say they should leave. But I'm going to tell you a story of a friend of mine who traveled out of the country in search of greener pastures that so he thought. The taxes at abroad and everything, yes, if you hear the salary, you think that yes, it's so much because on another Ghana schema, you think it's so much. But the taxes and other stuff that goes on that you have to spend, you end up having that the stress you go through, even at work. And the next person traveled. Within the shortest possible time, he heard the mother has gone to the hospital and the mother died. The wife that he left here, in fact, he was a doctor. The wife that he left here was pregnant. The wife went to the hospital and then, fortunately, the wife came back home. The baby didn't come. He's left from abroad to be in the country. What I'm driving at is, if you all should leave, who is going to take care of us? If you all should leave and we say that we want to develop the country, irrespective of the political party in power, we are going to get back here. You come back and you meet the things that you were running off, and you come in. So let's all stay and develop the country.
Hear you, Nana. Thanks very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Let's go on to our WhatsApp console and take a listen to what people are saying, beginning with this voice message. Here we go.
Good morning to you, Team Love FM, and to you, David Akwete, the best morning show host in Kumasi Metropolis. This is Justice K of Ethics and Inside Out. You see, Dave, Ghana is not worth to live in. You have a 30 million population. You cannot even look after your population. A nation that has every natural resource, but we cannot live, to stand the test of time. For quarterly, look at the number of percentage that your nurses are leaving. Doctors, engineers, the artisans, everyone is leaving. Why? We can do it, but why can't we fix the mess? The big question here is, we can do it. We know that we can do it, and our leaders know that we can do it.
Okay. A lot of us, people are expecting a lot from our leaders. Isn't that the case? That's exactly the case. And if the leaders are listening, they should act now before it's too late. Take a listen to this other one.
This is Isaac. You see, it is within the interest of the health worker to leave. Why am I saying this? When my colleagues outside there are taking my annual salary as a monthly salary, when the health worker has to pay for his medical bills when he is sick, a colleague of mine died because Confederation said there is no bed. There is no system that has been put in place to cater for the health worker when he or she is sick. And the politician doesn't care. Little do they know that when in emergency situations, they will not be flown outside. They will be brought to UGMC and Kolebu in the same experienced hands that are living that could have catered for them. And we are all waiting in line to also leave. Okay, Dave, sometimes when you get to work, you don't even have the logistics to work with. Sometimes even battery to power a BP monitor to check a patient's blood pressure. You can't get. And you are devastated, okay? I mean, no, there's no sense of urgency, okay, Dave? One of the days when the health worker used to enjoy some car allowance, rent allowance, but they have all been slashed, and the health worker has to pay for everything with that mega salary, I
hear you. And there are occasions where we've heard stories about even up north where people are using their phone torchlight to conduct surgery. Charlie.
Dave, the problem we are having is difficult to be solved because the head of the country or the system is not sacrificial. The salaries of politicians are so much that it shouldn't be given to them. Look at the salaries of workers or politicians in the West. Their salary is about 10 times minimum wage, and compare the salaries of politicians here to our minimum wage. So they do not have the edge to tell anybody to sacrifice. We have to get a leader who is sacrificial to be slashing all these things. Then all of us will be sacrificing. You see, look at the bungalows given to them for free. Look at the cars given to them for free. Look at the fuel given to them for free. You just go and serve for 8 years at maximum, and all these things are given to you. And then you have a nurse in your studio working for over 20 years, working for over 10 years, and then which benefit are they getting? So all of us have to sacrifice, starting from the head.
I hear you. He says we all need to sacrifice starting from the head. Unfortunately, if we did not play your voice note or message, forgive us. We'll try and squeeze in one message on WhatsApp. And what's the person saying, you?
It says, good morning, Dave. I have a nurse friend who was previously with a hospital in Eastern Region. She managed to find herself in Canada. And can you imagine this lady is paid $98 an hour of work at Saskatchewan? That's another province and another province is convincing her to move to work there and is offering her $100 an hour. Do the math and conversion to Ghana cedis. Imagine she even works 6 hours a day. Remember, these places provide better working conditions in addition to better occupational health and safety systems. As I write this lady is in spate of 2 years and is almost completing her home. Meanwhile, she couldn't even afford a plot of land in 2020 when she was in Ghana here working. Obviously, what is happening is a rational act on the part of the nurses. It's sad it has to get to this level, but do we have any choice? Your guess is as good as mine.
Charlie, I know it's not easy, guys. Yeah. Sister Anna and Philemon. But you best Remo. Charlie, stay behind there. It will get better. I mean, many Ghanaians will tell you that, apart from politicians and maybe some pastors, many Ghanaians will tell you that, Charlie, it's not that easy. It's tough. I know somebody sent a message to my sister and said, well, for sister, her case is different because of where she finds herself. I don't want to read that message. But for you, Philemon and co, you say you're contemplating. Stop the contemplation. Don't go. And let's see and hope and pray. Engage with leaders, hoping that something better will come out of this. You're not asking for much. You say 5,000 will do in terms of monthly salary. You mentioned some, buildings we put up for you so that you pay higher purchase. You talk about, the cars that you need and all that. I think that if our leaders should sit down,
opportunity to upgrade.
If our leaders should sit down and think deep, we'll be able to take care of all these things. Thank you very much, Philemon. Thank you very much, sister, for your time. You want to have a final word, please?
Yeah, and even if you finish with the nursing, you stay home for 3 years before you are even posted. So it's very frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
And even with the young ones who have just finished, we call them, they have to do national service. And in nursing, we say rotation. They will start the rotation within a year, but they will never be paid. They will never receive an allowance.
Right, Ghana.
Then after 1 year, probably, because we just had a group who just finished this month. They haven't received any person. So it's all
it's a national security issue. Having trained nurses and midwives sitting at home If they decide to pick injections and move from house to house, then what happens? Something needs to be done about it.
I hear you.
The country needs to prioritize healthcare, and especially nurses and midwives in the country.
I hear you. All right, so Yellow Asanteman Yasanaba. Now, it's been an amazing Ashanti Fest 2023, and you heard Alali Atiasi talk about some games that were played over the weekend, and he said this was exciting. So it's been an amazing Ashanti Fest 2023. It's still ongoing, and MTN says the fun is not over yet. For all, they are lovely people in Asanteman. They are still showering and showing them loads of love by giving them some amazing stuff. So this Ashanti Fest, dial *141# to enjoy up to 1 GB extra data when you buy your unique data bundles on MTN just for you. Now this is a special offer just for you, lovely people of Asanteman. Osekrum for Ashanti Fest Bayer the Brutal. Come, let's have fun. Stay connected everywhere you go. Now let's talk about Syntex. Now, do you know about Syntex? I hope you do, but in case you don't, listen. What is your preferred color of tank? Syntex has it. What guarantee do you want? Well, Syntex has it too. What kind of inner layer do you want? Is it a double, triple, quadruple? As many inner layers as you want, Syntex has it. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it just for you. Syntex tank, strong, tough. Now, they have over 300 agents nationwide. So every corner you turn, there should be a Syntex agent near you. To order a tank, you can call 0244 335 168. Trust me, you will not regret buying a tank from Syntex. 0244 335 168. Visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana or shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, strong, tough. Now, let me tell you about education, because education has no end. We all need to continue upgrading and doing better for ourselves, and that is where this university comes in. And I'm talking about Presbyterian University. Now, the 2023-2024 academic year admissions are now open. Presbyterian University Ghana, that is a PUG, is offering admission into the following undergraduate programs: Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Education in Social Studies, BSc Mathematics with Statistics and Accounting, BSc Business Administration, BSc Agribusiness, BSc Computer Engineering, BSc Information and Communication Technology, BSc International Development, BSc Environmental and Natural Resource Management, BSc Physician Assistantship, BSc Midwifery, and BSc Nursing. General entry requirements are as follows: WASSCE A1 to C6, SSCE A to D, A-level holders, diploma holders, and degree holders. Now, the Presbyterian University Ghana offers flexible payment of fees. That is, 4 installments are available for you to pay your fees, and it's for all students. Now, to apply online, please visit their website www.presbyterianuniversity.edu.gh, or you can call 020-2277-202 or 020-2277-201 for more information. Well, in a bit, we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7 for more on the Super Morning Show. Please stay tuned.
How are you, Kofi? And how are you getting on? Have you been taking your HIV medication? I mean, the antiretroviral medicines.
Media, my bro. Every day I have to take this medicine. Why?
Oh, Kofi, but you know that your antiretroviral medicines have to be taken every day to be effective.
Why does it have to be so?
Oh, Kofi, you know, by taking your antiretroviral medicines every day, it stops the virus from replicating and allows the immune system to repair itself and prevent further damage. This way, you can live a long, healthy life.
Do you think not taking the antiretroviral medicine is the reason why I feel weak and feverish? Could it be the reason why I have recurring diarrhea too?
So would you rather feel sick instead of just taking the antiretroviral medicines daily and feel healthy? You know the daily dose helps to suppress the virus so that in about 6 months, the virus becomes undetectable. This means that the virus in your blood is sufficiently suppressed. It also means that you cannot transmit the virus to others. If your viral load continues to remain undetectable, then it is equal to being untransmittable. That is what we mean by U equals U.
I think I owe it to myself to take my antiretroviral drug religiously.
Great! That is what I was hoping to hear. You must take your antiretroviral medicine consistently to get your viral load suppressed to make it undetectable and untransmittable.
Yes, undetectable equals untransmittable.
You equals you.
This message is brought to you by Ghana AIDS Commission.
Charlie, that be the sound you hear when things make hot. I'm sure this is not battery, just cash flow. Laja no day. It is safe to say we are all facing challenging times. We are all wondering how we are going to lighten our financial burdens. Nowhere cool, but don't worry. With a little help from your trusted bank, Societe Generale Ghana, be Biara Bayer fine. Societe Generale Ghana is making all its customers happy with a Yatiso Loans promo. In fact, SG Ghana customers and even non-customers who are on the controller and accountant general payroll can enjoy access to our amazing discounted loans. Don't waste time. Get your loan today. Step into a branch or call 0302-214-314 to get the ball rolling. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, promotion ends on 7th August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
You worry, just be happy. Don't you worry.
Hey, you ever buy credits where you get up to 20% of your money back before? Like I tell you about Vodafone's demo promo. See, anytime you recharge a demo, you get up to 20%, whether it be short code or your Vodafone cash wallet, or you don't use credit transfer to your number or someone else. And now you be high tech, so you don't use my Vodafone app or any payment app. However you do, Vodafone go send you up to 20% cash back into your Vodafone cash account. Who reload here? But then you enter. Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana cedi or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Why risk having your visa denied when you have Excel Plus Education? Do you have an offer to study in the UK, Canada, USA, or Australia this September? Do you require professional guidance on how to submit your visa application? For a free support on all aspects of your visa and student application, get in touch with Excel Plus Education right away. Call or WhatsApp us for no cost at all on 0243 334894 or 0246 725909. Excel Plus Education, putting you in charge.
Motion is climate change is the greatest threat. You mentioned AI, you mentioned nuclear weapons, pandemics, and a whole lot. Sweetheart, which one of them is the greatest? We'll be waiting for the response.
My opponents, for your information, God just gave us climate. We humans decided to change it. Hence, climate change. The whole house.
The competition has reached its climax. The men have been separated from the boys. Stay glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM, Joy Learning, and Joy Prime as we bring you the semi-final contest of the Love FM High Schools debate. It's the battle for supremacy in the Ashanti region. Catch us live from the Christian Service University College 2 p.m. each day as we bring you the semi-finals. On Monday, 10th July, Presec Bumpata will battle it out with T.I. Amas Kumasi. And on Tuesday, 11 July, Prempeh College will lock horns with Asanteman SHS. The Love FM High Schools debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. Sponsored by...
Introducing the all-new Rasta Chocomalts, a feel of real chocolate, sorghum, caramel with the right amount of hops. For the best chocolate malt drink, your best bet is Rasta Chocomalt. Grab a bottle of Rasta Chocomalt with a new look but same great taste. Rasta Chocomalt is proudly made in Ghana by Twellium Industrial Company Limited with a touch of Kente.
Remedy, and your fame and walk handkerchief, and your paper free, outside your coffee, akosie, and Nihakra, and until your Flora disposable handkerchief. February war, now in the most on you. ana wo bo wa enfefe tato wo ye dwumadie bi school mu enwumam offices na wo ye hanky asho botom die Flora disposable handkerchief eno na beboa wo demo ni nyina ehyemu bebre Flora tissues eno any tissue ba ko a emu odu echi nsuo so ye wo disposable handkerchiefs toilet roll multi-purpose towels table napkins and a box tissue so we pese Flora tissues we ye distributor fresh 0243 033 033.
Thinking of bettering your life? Look no further. Pidata Limited Company is here for you. Our services include continuous professional development programs for teachers, nurses and midwives, medical and dental professionals, continuous students development for students and online remedial classes. We also develop websites, provide social media and graphic design services for our customers. Not forgetting our business consulting services, which offers business registration and advisory service. Lastly, we offer research coaching, data collection and analysis services for individuals as well as businesses. You can locate us at Atonsu S Line, Kumasi. Contact us on 0322 497579.
You'll ever taste, never spread. Top chocolate spread. Every day, it's our drink. Top chocolate instant space. It's 3-in-1, and tasty too. Made just for you and I. Top chocolate, it's chocolate choco. It's chocolate choco.
Enjoy Top Choco Chocolate Spread and 3-in-1 instant mixed chocolate drink anytime, any day. It's chocolatey.
Charlie, I know they play with my cowbell. I love my cowbell. All the flame when they sweet me, oh. So nourishing for your body. Strawberry, banana, coconut, cowbell, mocha, even chocolate, banana flavor.
Cowbell flavor for everyone at breakfast and snack time. Enjoy the 5 delicious tasty cowbell flavors: strawberry, banana, coconut, chocomalt, and mocha.
Media Sambisanda Moa. Let's see Mratiano, Mumu, Panet, Mumu, Podompe, Mumana Yakono. Eh, Quabna. No, Mumu wants to just my Marina there. Eh, and the crow. Complete Mirin and Podompe, so you supercent Eba. I had a binding the Braille. Who see it in the mobile, some man are holding it. Sir, I now could you soon use supercent Chaco. Nenry dear, a mouse, and we are cringing, fit. Now what you ask me, my mother feel you. Pepsodent Eba and a Pepsodent Chaco. A baby, you're gonna natural.
Makion Restaurant, continental and local dishes. Baby, any papa